Hey everyone, it's Naisha from Black Girl in the RLK, and today I'm coming at you with something a little bit different. It's going to be story time. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on everything that I'm doing here. So I'm going to do a story time. For a while. For a while, I've been really wanting to do a story time, but I just couldn't figure out exactly what it is that I wanted to talk to you about. And I think I have the perfect story. So a few years ago, I went to Thailand for Christmas vacation. When I was living in Korea, I went for about almost 14 days, almost like a full week. I think it might have been 12 or 13 days, so just shy of 2 weeks, I think. And I had been planning this trip in my head for years. When I was in New York, I was like eating at like Thai restaurants, like if I could just get to Thailand, this food would be so much better because it would be authentic and cheap and delicious. So I finally moved to Korea, and then I was like, okay, first vacation, Thailand. That's what I'm doing. Let me tell y'all. I didn't realize that I had booked during a time of political unrest. I think they were having a lot of protests. Something was going on with the government. Someone had just been elected, or someone's sister or brother had been elected that they didn't want in there. And there was like lots of political protests. And basically the alert, they have like in the US, or I guess in the world or whatever, this alert for different like countries. And it was kind of like a red or orange alert. It was like up there. And but they said even though the alert is like kind of up there and you need to be like, you know, have your wits about you, they were saying that tourists could still go. So I was like, okay, tourists can still go, and that was good because I don't think my ticket was refundable or whatever. I probably would have lost like a decent portion of the money. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go. I booked with China Eastern Air. It was only like a 5-hour plane ride, so it wasn't that bad. So I booked with China Eastern Air, and then I realized when I was on the airplane, I saw two of my co-workers, this married couple named Christy and Trey. So I saw them on the flight. So I guess they were flying into Thailand as well. And our flight ended up being delayed. So our flight was delayed by like a few hours. I was supposed to fly in at like a decent time. Like I was supposed to get there at like 8 or 9, but we ended up getting there at like 1 a.m., like 12:30, 1 a.m. By happenstance with my coworkers, and we decided to share a cab to our destination because we were kind of going in the same area. Now, mind you, it's like 1:30 in the morning at this point. And we get in the cab or whatever, and the cab, it takes forever because we're at the airport, and those are usually like, airports usually far out. But also once we ended up getting into the city center, kind of, he had to take a lot of detours because a lot of different streets were blocked off because of all these protests and stuff. So he's taking these detours, and like all of the sudden we go down this one-way street. I don't know if you knew it was a one-way street, but we go down this one-way street, and things are looking real suspect. Like no offense to Thailand, it's a beautiful country, but you know, 1 a.m. in the morning, things look real suspect in Bangkok. Like it looked real, like in my mind when I looked at Bangkok, it kind of reminds me, in my mind, in my imagination, it looks like Brooklyn in the 80s with palm trees and dark-skinned Asians. And then I'm seeing like suspects of like hood, like ghetto and hood. I'm like, where are we at? What's going on? There's like, I look out the window, and I see this guy like up against the wall, like kind of in an alleyway, and I'm like, I see these two guys, and I'm like, this don't look good. So all of a sudden, these dudes, like 2 or 3 dudes, like run out, like just run up out or whatever, and there's like a dude, there's like a couple walking down the street, and then there's like a dude walking his bike down the street, and these other dudes come out looking suspect as all whatever, and basically they start like kind of, they had guns, yo. They had guns. They started shooting. Ish got real quick. And I kid you not, the bitch in me came out because I became the blob, and I just like slid under. I was in the back seat like sliding down, like it wasn't like this big like street fight, but I just kind of feel like anytime someone has pulled out a gun and I can see it and they're like shooting at someone, that is just not someplace I need to be. Like, I feel like something has gone terribly wrong in my life if I'm ever around people that are shooting guns. That's just how I feel for how I run, you know, my life. So I'm like sliding and like whimpering, and I'm like, please, I do not want to die on my vacation, because bullets have no names. And of course, Cray and Tristy are just like so blessed and unbothered by all of this. They're just like, Jesus will protect us. And I'm like, well, I'm an atheist, so I'm gonna need to slide down, because, you know, if God is real, I think I'm probably gonna be the first one to go. There's a U-turn or whatever, and we see, I don't know if the guy got shot, like, or like it was like they like broke out and started running, and you heard pop, 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 and I assume he ran up the street. I don't know what happened. You know, it's blurry. He ended up getting us out. We did the U-turn. He went on some other street or whatever, and we got out. But it really did put like a damper on like my whole entire like vacation. Like, I was just thinking, like, I cannot be one of those people that dies on their vacation. Like, you watch those shows on like the E channel, like 12 like top ways people died, you know, right after they went in Aruba or something. It's just like, I just was just thinking, like, this cannot be happening right now or whatever. So I mean, it wasn't probably that big of a deal, but like, I'm not really good in crisis situations like that. Bangkok was a cool city, but it really did put a damper on me. Like, I was just kind of like, I feel like every other like thing, I was just like watching my back like this, like, you know, what you coming to me for? What you want? Get away from me. Da, 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 da. That's how I felt like the whole time. I ended up staying there for like 3 or 4 days. While I know things like that can happen anywhere, things like that have not happened to me anywhere. And that is the issue that I was having with that situation. But with that said, I would love to go back to Thailand. The food was the bomb. It was cheap. I really enjoyed the culture. Very colorful place, very down-to-earth people. You know, I would go back, maybe go to an island or whatever, but I probably wouldn't try to go back during a time of political unrest. So has anyone ever been in a situation like this, where they were on vacation and something, you know, unexpected like this happened? Please leave your comments below. Also hit the like button if you want to hear more stories about my travels and my experiences here in Asia. And I'll see you next time.